Welcome back to Relevant History, and wow, it looks like even history isn't safe from the Among Us memes. Now, unless you've been living under a digital rock for about a year and a half, or not into gaming, you've probably heard of Among Us. You know, the game with the cute little armless astronauts who are trying to fix the ship while figuring out who's the imposter that's killing everyone and sabotaging the ship. Now, the game's already declining in popularity, but I just want to get into those memes that caught my attention because they had something related to history with them. And you know, we're also gonna actually look at the origin of one of the famous words that came from that game, the word sus. Now, it all started with just me watching my favorite YouTubers play this game when I got suggested this video. Yes, Sussus Among Us, the very famous Roman emperor we all know. I don't know what it is with this music, but just the way it sounds makes it feel like it's right for the time period. Also, in case you're wondering, I actually took a class on Byzantine history, so I know for a fact that that picture right there is from the Roman Emperor Valentinian II, which, it actually makes sense because if you think about it, he actually died under very suspicious circumstances, where he was just found hanged, and apparently he was in a power struggle with one of his generals, Arbogast. I guess the name fits for him. Now, as I was looking for this meme, I just searched up on YouTube the name Sussus Among Us, and I actually ran into apparently another version of this meme called Sussus Amogus. And we obviously can't deny the fact that we got right here that original when the imposter is sus meme. We gotta definitely click on that one.
What's so funny about Sussus Amogus?
You probably shouldn't have asked that one.
Well, it's a joke name, sir. I have a very great friend in Rome called Sussus Amogus.
Wow, the voice edits are
Silence!
actually pretty good.
I will not have my friends ridiculed by the common soldiery. When I say the name Sussus Amogus.
Why sus? Why? To be honest, if I was a soldier, I'd probably feel like that. Although the name isn't really that funny, but...
He has a wife, you know.
Ooh.
You know what she's called?
Let me guess, some female version of Sussus Amogus?
She's called He got.
No.
He got the drip. Shut up!
No! Why did I laugh at that? Why? Why did I laugh at that? He got the drip, not the Among Us drip meme. Oh god, that's another meme. Alright, I did not expect that. That was definitely a curveball. Eventually, I also started looking at other Among Us memes, and then I ran into, yet again for some reason, another Roman-related meme. I don't know what's up with the Among Us community and their obsession with Roman history. But yeah, it's just some guy saying Augustus. I suppose that's supposed to be Augustus. Apparently, this is a version of the original Among Us meme where it's just this guy looking at one of those astronauts and saying Amogus. Don't ask me how or why this became a meme. It just happened. Apparently, there's other versions of this that are in some way connected to history with other characters. But honestly, none of the others really caught my attention. Except maybe the Columbus one, because, come on, just look at my profile picture. I really like to make Columbus references, especially when it has to do with memes. That's weird. Why did they not make a meme with, like, Julius Caesar or Brutus?
5 minutes later.
Oh, wow, I spoke too soon. Oh. Wow, they definitely do have them. I just ran into these. I mean, for the second one, all they needed was, like, the little bubble with the guy saying, Julius. Okay, so let's just move on into another different yet related meme. Apparently, people kept bringing up, you know, like, the names of famous or historical individuals, and they would say, haha, look, an Among Us reference, just because, you know, it ended with us, or sounded like Amogus, Among Us, or sus. Not only that, people started pointing out old posters that had the word us, or Among Us, or sus connected to them. But no, it doesn't even end here. So somebody posted this image, which apparently it's from a ancient Egyptian papyrus script. And then from here, like, things just evolved. Like, people were posting about how regular everyday objects look like Among Us crewmates to them. And you know, like, what's going on here? Like, look at that. I guess you could say, yeah, it definitely kind of looks like Among Us. And definitely some people at this point were questioning their sanity, and they were saying, asking to themselves, like, what's going on? Why am I seeing Among Us everywhere? Like, I need answers. Well, it's time for some answers and explanations. If you find this video called the Among Us effect, which clever name, by the way, you'll find that this can be explained by a simple psychological phenomenon known as pareidolia. So this basically just means just kind of how sometimes people just recognize things that kind of look like faces. That's a very similar thing to what's happening with Among Us. It's a very simple shape, and you kind of see this and you kind of, your mind plays tricks on you. It's a pretty good video, honestly. I would probably recommend it. Okay, right now we're gonna get into the history and the origin of the word sus, which definitely a little more educational slash serious topic. But honestly, I want to first look at this video that I just found, the historical events portrayed by Among Us. Let's see how good it is. Assassination of Caesar, of course. Oh. The Cold War. Ah, yes. It's the two sides standing. Assassination of JK. Oh, you can't kill from a range. Oh. Of course. Why didn't I see that? I saw JFK in the car. Oh, they're in the trees. Oh, never mind. That too. First man in the moon. Oh, great, the Chernobyl meltdown.
Not great, not terrible.
Well, now let's actually move on into a little more interesting part, in my opinion, which is the origin of the word sus, which is short for suspicious. Two things to keep in mind as we look at the following articles. 1. The word sus is much older than Among Us. And 2. The definition of sus has actually remained consistent. In fact, the main differences come from what is someone being suspicious or a suspect of. That being said, this article by Inverse says that the word sus has a quote-unquote controversial past. Controversial? Controversial? Anyways, it talks about how in England there is this law called the Vagrancy Act of 1824. Section 4 of this act used to give police the power to stop, search, and even arrest anyone who was acting suspiciously, and thus was suspected of trying to commit a crime. That's how the so-called sus law was born.
You there, sir!
But what is so scandalous about the sus in sus law? Well, not only was it practically ineffective in lowering crime, it also ended up disproportionately targeting minorities like London's Afro-Caribbeans. This fueled racial tensions and eventually led to huge confrontations with police like the Brixton riot in 1981. All this information is true, and I'm glad I learned it. But the article's forceful attempt to connect Among Us to current issues like police brutality and racism comes off as a bit of a stretch. I mean, come on, the word sus was used for a very different purpose by a British constable in the 1980s compared to a bunch of modern day American kids playing video games. Nevertheless, I'm glad that they explore the past use of sus, and that at the very end, they affirm that the current use of the word sus is not problematic. Again, saying sus is not racist, so feel free to use it. Now, as I was looking for other past uses of sus, I also ran into this article titled, "The term sus is rooted in homophobia." What? Before I start, please remember that this is an opinion article, so cut it some slack. The author claims that the word was apparently used to discriminate and call out non-straight people, which, fair enough, sus just means suspicious, so I can see how it can be used in a discriminatory way. Again, back to the sus law, it's all about being suspicious of what? The part where I do disagree is claiming that the word is rooted and thus in a way originates from homophobia. First of all, we already established that sus goes as far back as the 18 and 1900s England. This means the word was actually later picked up and then used in a homophobic manner. Get this, without fundamentally changing the definition, which is suspicious. Secondly, the opinion piece failed to prove sus was a widespread slur prior to Among Us. I did manage to find some online posts and discussions like the one shown in this article, so yes, the word has been used like this before. But 1, most of these posts, including this one, came during or after the game's popularity, and 2, of course you're gonna find things like this in TikTok. You're talking about the same social media where people pretended to be Holocaust victims. But yeah, TikTokers and anyone else using sus in a harmful manner, please stop, you're ruining the meme. Now, we looked at a lot of Among Us today, more than I initially planned to. But honestly, at the end of the day, should you not use the word sus? Not really, only if you want to. All I'm gonna say is that the current use of the word, even though at times it could be annoying, and it could become overused, It's way better than the way the word sus was being used before. And with that being said, honestly, thanks for watching. I hope you learned and you also enjoyed.